Alright guys, it looks like campaign is back on the menu, and here we are with our legendary Heralds of Ariel campaign. Looks like the Sisters of Twilight and their awesome Forest Dragon are ready as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the faction effects. The Forge of Daith, so this is certainly a very fun mechanic. So over the course of the campaign, every couple of turns, you basically get the option to upgrade your existing items. So it's kind of like a forge system, so you have two choices. So you can upgrade one of your existing items permanently into the blue status, or you can actually do a temporary upgrade to one of your items to the purple status, and at that point it gets super powerful, but you can only use it for a period of 5 turns. So it's kind of like a long-term investment versus a short-term investment. Perhaps you're in a situation where you need a really powerful item to win a battle. Maybe you go with the more risky of the options, but personally I feel like it's always worth it to just upgrade the permanent options, because over the course of a campaign, it's really going to pay off quite a bit more. Also very nice, you get 10% ammunition for all of your armies. The Sisters of Twilight are very heavily designed for kind of that hit and run Wood Elf style of play. You're probably not going to be having a Dryad frontline, Eternal Guards. You might mix in a couple infantry units just to have something for like choke point battles and things like that. But generally speaking, the Heralds of Ariel are very heavily designed for just spamming a ton of missile units, kiting heavily, and then also using a couple of elite cab units to really hammer them down. Now this is something that I'm really excited to play with in the campaign. All of your Hawk Riders get the Volley of Kurnus. It is insanely good. I was actually doing a little bit of a testing with this, and I had like 4 Hawk Riders just blasting with the Volley of Kurnus. It can be very strong. However, you also have to remember, the Hawk Riders are still Hawk Riders. Their stopping power overall isn't going to be that crazy, but the fact that they get the Volleys of Kurnus is very, very good. On top of that, minus 15% upkeep for all missile units. You get plus 10 melee attack for flying units, so your Hawk Riders and your Great Eagles, and also the Sisters themselves are going to be getting plus 10 melee attack. Last but not least, you get charge bonus. So you can see what I'm saying. You have like a flying air force, you have some ground-based missiles, you have a couple cab units just to run as sweepers, and you can do some serious damage. So yeah, I really enjoyed these characters, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this campaign as well. So we are going to be going on legendary difficulty and the very hard battle difficulty. Our starting units are the Great Stag Knights, who are incredibly awesome. We do also have the Hawk Riders, so we do start with one unit that can use the Volley of Kurnus here. We also start with the Great Eagle. So on that note, guys, let us waste no more time and jump into the campaign.
Even the fierce defenders of the Wood Elf Kingdom cannot safeguard their realm from the disorder of the Great Vortex. In the forests of Nagaroth, a portal to the Dreaming Wood grows thin, where beyond, demons rage. The forest grants Queen Ariel a dread vision of ancient trees blackened and broken, of countless wood elves slain upon their twisted boughs. For should chaos breach from their realm, the world roots will carry the demons to the very heart of Athelloren. Only Ariel herself can seal the dire portal. So sends her most trusted to cleanse the forest ahead of her arrival, unaware that a vengeful enemy watches. The Twilight twins, Nistra and Arahan, a deadly fusion of dawn's serenity and dusk's fury. They will not waver in their perilous quest. The Mage Queen, vulnerable for the first time in eons, but her hidden foe dare not strike directly. A terrified Skaven is persuaded to lure their twisted overlord to this cause. Throt, master mutator of Clan Moulder, how he yearns to be free of his unnatural, undying hunger. Ariel's pulped remains would be a certain remedy. A queen's implacable guardians oppose a creature of chilling madness. A brutal war is unavoidable. The fate of the forest, undecided.
It is as our mistress says, Arahan. The weave here is dangerously out of balance.
Yet there is much prey. Glorious.
This is no game, sister. We must prepare for Ariel's arrival.
Purge the Witchwood's darkness. Restore its ancient glory. Strengthen the weave, etc., etc. You handle the details, Nestra. I'll handle the slaughter.
Cease this childishness. If Ariel cannot seal the demon portal, annihilation awaits.
Don't be tedious, sister. You know I will never fail our Mage Queen.
At least these glades are rife with foul greenskins and beastmen to hold your quarrelsome interest.
Not to mention the Druki fools. I so enjoy hunting those.
Then, for the future of our people, we must commence the cleansing, sister. For the weave!
For Ariel! For Athel Lauren!
And there you have it, my friends. So let's go ahead and take a look at how they play. So as far as the faction goes, you guys of course saw this in the Wood Elf update. We have the Forge of Daith, which of course was not in the update because it's unique to their campaign. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. So we do of course have the world roots. So if we take a look around the Vortex campaign, you can see we have the Sacred Pools, we have Orion's Camp, and we do also have the Vale here. And of course all the forests that are in the old world are not here because it is a Vortex campaign. Now aside from that, we can travel around and heal up the forests, of course, which we'll be doing over the course of the campaign. And we have the Deep Roots and the offices as well. So if we take a look at the Court of the Mage Queen, you can see here, they were just going to tell us what I'm already going to tell you. So we'll get down to business. So here for the Court of the Mage Queen, we do get +3 recruit rank for Spellweavers, which is quite nice. The Queen Champion does give 10% campaign movement range and also income from raising settlements. It's a very aggressive position, kind of one that Orion would probably hold. Here we have give character the title Darkweaver. Ooh. Now this is a really good one. Wins a magic power reserve all armies faction wide, so maybe getting this one early would probably be the most useful. And also gives power of darkness and weapon strength to all the units in that Lord's army. That's really good. Gives character Glamour Weaver, so you get Loix Blessing in stock. That one's alright. Beastbinder, base weapon damage, and also extra uses of the Transformation of Kadan, which for Wood Elves honestly isn't that good anymore. Because it summons an eagle instead of manticores. Except Durthu actually still, I believe, summons manticores. Here we have the Tree Singer of Isha. This gives us Tree Singer. Wins a magic for Awakening of the Wood and regeneration for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman units. It's pretty cool. Like, I see myself having a Treekin army. I see myself having, an army that's more focused on magic. Like, all sorts of cool stuff. Here we have the title Highweaver. Miscast base chance, ward save for Lord's army, and wins a magic cost for Apotheosis. Very neat stuff for sure. So that is the spectrum of the offices here for the Sisters of Twilight. And at the start of my turn, the first objective is to heal up the Witchwood here. So when we do that, it actually gives us Ariel. It gives us an Amber, which we can use on one of our unique upgrades in our tech tree, which you guys will see. And we do also have the Treasury, and you get the Deep Roots cleared, which allows you to teleport very quickly for a period of 5 turns. It usually is a 10-turn timer, but in this case, when you clear the Deep Woods, it goes to 5 turns. So every time you do that with a forest, you get a little perk. You guys get the picture. And also wants us to take out the Broken Chains. It sounds like a rap group, but that's cool. So we're going to take out the Broken Chains here, the Ice Spire, the Tyrant Peak, the Temple of Adioth, and that appears to be it. So if we look at the forest territories, yeah, all these 3 settlements are occupied by orcs right now and are currently hurting our health, making it so we cannot increase the health of the Witchwood. On top of that, we also need to get the ancient city of Quintex down here. Now, this one isn't hurting us because we're not at war with them or some other condition, which we'll find out. But I will be taking this at some point and turning it back into the glorious forest that it should be. Although it's very annoying down here because not only are we on legendary difficulty with the public order, but it's also just riddled with chaos corruption because that is Marathi's territory. So something to think about. Now, as far as our Forge of Daith goes, yeah, okay, so we can't do that yet. It should trigger in 2 turns. You can see the timer, and we'll be able to show you guys. It basically just gives you some awesome items. So let's put you in there. Very good. The Witchwood, as far as our abilities go, we'll upgrade the tree. We don't need to buy new units. Our starting army is actually very strong. And probably going for... You don't really need missile tech because we can recruit basic Glade Guard at our... when we're able to conquer the Ice Spire here, we can build, a missile building there. So probably just going for economy and growth is going to be the prudent decision. And they're really good too. You can see this one here does give us income, resources, all sorts of good stuff. And I do not believe we have a mission to sign a non-aggression pact with them yet, but I'm pretty sure one comes pretty early here in the campaign. So first and foremost, we have to fight some orcs. We can attack the settlement itself just to make sure we don't have to chase down any armies or anything like that. So we'll just attack the Ice Spire here, and we should be good to go. So the first battle, oh no, terrifying. Look at the balance of power. We are just doomed, in massive trouble. But yeah, should be fine. So we just got to crush these orcs, take out the Orc War Boss, and use our great Stag Knights to ride down the goblins, and life will be good.
We fight for the forest.
Alright guys, and here we are. Thankfully it is a choke battle, so that's going to make this exponentially easier, but we'll just make a basic formation of our spears and bows, move those bad boys up, and they can of course put some hurting on the advancing orcs. And yeah, of course we have the missile bus from Ariel, we have the extra ammunition, and we have the, I believe it was a little bit of extra upkeep reduction on those guys, which is quite cool. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 for our cav units, and Group 4 for our Air Force, and that should be more than fine. So it looks like they're going to be coming from here, which means they'll probably come down this choke right here. Yeah, choke maps are so good for Wood Elf armies, like being able to just blob them up with missiles, especially since the Sisters of Twilight do have the Talons of Dusk, which can do some really solid AoE damage. Alright, you guys can lurk down here. Hawk Riders and Birdman can fly over there, and we'll start this battle. Alright, so, yeah, that's right. They already had a force on the battlefield. Should have seen that coming. So let's move you guys down. We can actually show you the Arrows of Kurnus now, so I'll try and get a good bait right now. Granted, I should wait till they're blobbed up, but I'm just so eager to show you guys that we're going to try and do it right now. So you guys go right here. Sisters of Twilight will go into the AoE fire mode. Granted, we could just start sniping the Greenskin Lord here. Yeah, I guess the Greenskin Lord's up in the hills here, coming as reinforcements since we attacked the city, so we'll just come over here and start picking off this formation. We should be able to take them apart rather quickly, especially with the Stag Knights just hammering into them. And I think our Spellsinger has the... Yeah, we'll get her up here. Spellsinger can be in Group 5. You guys can be up on this hill, hanging out, and now we can start shooting probably the Archers. We want to get rid of the Archers so we can have free mobility, free harass, all that sort of good stuff. So Stag Knights, Hawk Riders, get ready to go, and we can use an Arrow of Kurnus on... You know, let's just use it on the center mass right here. Oh, those are just goblins. That's so janky. Yeah, we'll use it on these orcs here. So check it out. The Hawk Riders are going to get in position. They'll start shooting here in a second. Those are the regular shots, but here comes the volleys of Kurnus. They're actually pretty blobbed right there. Oh man, look at that. Damage city. Now imagine having like 5 or 6 of those guys. And there's also 2 charges. So the potential for AI abuse is just off the chains. You can just go crazy with that. All right, looks good so far. We can get ready to pounce. So let's get our caster up so we can use the buff on our Great Stag Knights to keep them from getting in trouble. We'll just keep juking here, and in the meantime, the Sisters of Twilight will keep pounding them with arrow fire. And just keep hanging out. What do we want to be shooting? Again, I think the goblins are probably the prudent choice here. Very good. Our archers are more or less in position. The Greenskin Horde is coming, and we've gotten a little bit of spray fire damage on these guys. So let's go ahead and hammer into these archers right now. Pull back here, get the Spellsinger in position, and we can bring you into the archers as well. Now you have to consider the changes to mass. We'll go ahead and put it on single fire mode and start sniping the Greenskin Lord just to butter him up on the approach. And we'll use the Weisson's Wild Form right here, which is going to give us some huge punch. And even if, you know, the goblins fall back, we should be able to hammer in and do some big damage. So there you go. Big old thick charge right there. And we'll just immediately pull back with those guys. You can see this entire formation is getting buckled pretty good. And the Great Eagle should be able to blob up here. Very good. So we're getting some decent sniping on the Lord. Looks good to me. Pull back these guys and prepare for some cycle charging. Goblins getting a little bit low, and Hawk Riders can probably fly overhead and get ready to party as well. Yeah, honestly, fighting these Orc War Boys in sustained combat is probably a fine choice. So now we have our Archer units. The Archers can start unleashing on the Orc Boys here because they're obviously one of the better choices, although taking out the Goblin Archers first probably isn't a bad idea. And you can see we're getting some good damage there. Stag Knights taking minor casualties, but really nothing to write home about, and the Hawk Riders should be able to win this respective fight. Which looks good. And do we have the Wild Form once again? We do not. So we'll use the Wild Form, of course, very effective on the Stag Knights because one of the only downsides of Stag Knights is their armor here. And the Orc War Boss is definitely getting crumped. We can always fall back if we need to and pull away, but it looks like we should be able to bunker bust this formation and give it the business. And yeah, we haven't lost any Stag Knights in quite some time. Wood Elves also do have very good replenishment in the post-battle screen, which you guys will be seeing here in a minute. And you guys can start shooting here, start shooting the Orc Boys, start shooting here. And it looks like we did lose one more Stag Knight, but the whole formation is pretty much buckling. So we can pull these guys back now and just prepare for some cycle charging, and that should be okay. Hawk Riders have done their job, so let's get them back up in the sky and prepare to use a big volley of Kurnus on this advancing blob of Orc Boys. The War Boss, we could probably just snipe him right now, honestly, just so we don't have to deal with him. Looks good. Yeah, we're taking minimal damage. We lost a couple of the Riders there, which is not a huge deal. So let's just keep chasing off units with them. I think that's going to be probably the prudent play. And you can come over here, attack these guys, and we can get you guys diving in to shut them down. Pull these guys back. We don't need to engage in melee, right? We can kite the Orc Boys up the hill and really get some good value. So we're just going to chase down whatever we can here and use the Weisson's Wild Form right here on the Hawk Riders to give them a little bit of armor in the combat they shall be enduring here. Very good. So those goblins should be breaking. It looks like the Stag Knights are doing an excellent job just chasing down some scraps over here so we can pull back this way. Looks good. We don't really need to chase too much, honestly. We could probably just bring them back here and have them start hammering the main positions. Looks like the War Boss is going to be going down. We can send spears to fight the archers. Pull back here, pull back here. Again, we're Wood Elves. We don't need to give them a square fight. And the War Boss didn't even get a chance to fight, which is always a good sign. And just pull back. Looks good to me. Stag Knights come over here, run down some of these Goblin Archers. You Flyers can come, and now outmaneuvering the Greenskin Force, we can come up on the high ground. And yeah, we just keep chasing those archers. Sisters of Twilight, we can now go into spray fire mode and just start picking off, you know, whatever we can see, really. Although, yeah, the War Boss is now down, which is good. Spears are still running. You don't want to give them any free damage. And it looks like, what are these, just goblins? Yeah, goblins will get shreked by Stag Knights pretty good. And the wild form will once again use in the Hawk Riders just to make sure they take very little damage. So let's chase you guys off. And it looks like the Stagnites did crump into those goblins on the low ground. They should be getting smacked with army losses pretty soon. And yeah, we took a little bit of damage. Like, you can play that battle so meticulously that you take no damage, more or less. And that's going to be the nature of many of these Wood Elf battles. Anyways, guys, we'll see you on the campaign map. You see, and now it's actually pertinent to take a look at these screens here, right? So the Great Stagnites got, as far as value, oh, we can't see while it's loading. Okay, I wanted to check. You kind of can. I think once it hits a certain threshold and says, continue on to campaign, we'll be able to show you guys the basics. Yeah, we lost 9 units. It's a shame. Most of them were Stagnites, of course. Here you go. All right, so 9,000 damage, but the most value, of course, came from Ariel, who was able to snipe the Lord. Archers, of course, did pretty good for themselves, and the Hawk Riders were able to get 11,000 damage as well, which I think was the most. Yeah, the Hawk Riders with the most damage. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so they have been crumped. Let's go ahead and occupy this land. Very good. And Val's Anvil Smith. Oh, that's a nice one. Plus 14 armor. It's going to be good once we get her on the dragon there. So we did complete our first quest. And now at the Spire, we have a couple options. Of course, we upgrade the main building, which is going to give us Public Order and Untainted, as they all do. But I think we're going to go for the World Route path. It gives us growth in adjacent provinces, which in the early game is better than going for the macro management perspective, which gives you growth to all provinces. So here, we'll do this. It also lets us recruit some archers, which we can recruit next turn. And for the sisters, of course, getting campaign movement range is just always good. And let's go ahead and level up our caster to get the better spells a little bit quicker. And we have some global recruitment options, but we can just hang out till next turn and tech tree. Morai Heg the Crone. I think we go down here to Anothrema the Savage Huntress, because this gives us cooldown to lower beast spells, which is kind of nice. But more importantly, it gives you 10% missile strength for all your armies, which is incredibly awesome. And you can see here we have a lot of options as well. We definitely want to be going for stuff that just helps us with ranged. I'm looking here. Casualty Replen wins a magic, which is always really good. And recruit rank, I have a feeling it's mixed, so we'll have to kind of like go back and forth here. Yeah, Lore of Life spells, Bretonnian Relations, Missile Resist, cooldown for Lore of Shadows. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff for sure. And of course, all the ones in the middle are the more elite ones that we get with the Amber usage. And let's go ahead and pass the turn. Kind of hang out here. Obviously, the turns here in Mortal Empires are relatively quick. I will be editing out certain loading screens here for battles and whatnot. That may take a little bit of time, but for this, we could just, hang out and chat it up and, treat ourselves a little bit. So, mission issued to research the technology. Ooh, that's a tough one right there. One turn, we get our forge. Let's go ahead and get archers because they're super cost effective in the early game. We have 7 turns until we're fully upgraded here. And I think that's it. We don't have the research technology, and yeah, just do that. So I think we're all good, honestly. Yeah, the Deep Roots call, but not yet. So we'll pass the turn here. So once we get those archers, we'll underway over. I'm pretty sure we get an incursion event very soon. So the some sort of Skaven or some trolls are going to come into our lands and try and give us some problems. Now check this out. The Forge of Daith has given us our first set of items. You can see the cooldown has been reset up here, and now we get the Eagle Bow. And here's all the gifts. So Lord Daith has gifted you equipment every 10 turns. 4 pieces of equipment. The Forge of Daith can be accessed once every 2 turns, which lets us upgrade said equipment. And now, oh, yeah, that's cool. And I also get it after I win battle. So you can see all these items are now equipped to our characters. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we get the basic armor, which speed, campaign movement range, growth. We get a hand weapon here, which helps us with our missile strength and range. Talisman gives us the Twilight Horn, which is like the Horn of the Wild Hunt. And we do also get the Dragon Pendant, which gives us hit point, resist, and casualty replen. So you can see amazing items here in the early game. Very, very powerful stuff. I'm tempted to kind of chill where I am for now and get a couple more archers, but we could also just save up, to be honest, but we have some time before. Upkeep on the archers is 119. Our economy isn't like banging or anything, so I think we can just go ahead and underway over and prepare to hit this greenskin base. So let's go ahead and use the world roots here, or the under roots, or what is this actually called? Yeah, world roots. And you can see the greenskins are marshalling a force of haggard orc boys who will be the perfect victims. So what does this Witchwood do anyways? Yeah, research rate, upkeep for all units. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and pass the turn. I'm pretty sure we'll get an incursion here. Now that we have our items, we're going to be quite scary as well. So winning battles also does allow us to upgrade those items, which I think is quite neat. In a faction encounter. Oh yeah, okay. Faction encounter. We got something going on here. It should appear somewhere in our forest. I'm not seeing it. I see this lovely little glowing here. And it doesn't look like... Yeah, no, okay. That's just an actual faction over there. I thought it was the encounter event. Alright, so let's move in. Crump these orcs. Looks like they got a bunch of orc boys. And, might have to micro a little bit, but, it's all good. So let's move in there and just take them out with our 12 stack here. It's not going to be an easy one. We could auto-resolve it, honestly. But I feel like fighting it's going to be fun. We get to show off our new items and some of our missile focus and whatnot. So we'll see you guys in the battle in just a second. All right, guys, and now we're here in the battle. Certainly not going to be quite as easy as the last one since it's not a choke point, but we'll get our missile units. We'll get our spear units kind of hanging out in the back so we can kite in a couple different directions. And aside from that, sister, brings me back. That's some early 2000 stuff right there. We have the Great Stag Knights, we have our Hawk Riders, and the caster can be up here as well, and we can cause some serious disruption. So pretty happy with the Winds of Magic situation. Now, we could snipe the Lord, which probably isn't a bad idea. He's a little goblin. I believe he does have a silver shield of some sort. I always forget that on Legendary you can't like look at those things as easily, which is kind of funky. So let's get everyone flying up. We want to get our Hawk Riders on the side to use a big arrow of Kurnus, and it looks like we did hit the goblin, but also it made some contact with the orc boys right there, which is fine. All right, so the whole crew is moving out, getting ready to party. Stag Knight's definitely going to run some interference, try and lure away a couple of the units. And yeah, look at the Lord sniping on that. That's only going to get like crazier as the campaign does, you know, come into fruition and you really get those late game techs and whatnot. Wild Form coming up as well. Arrow of Kurnus. Looks like they're shooting at the sisters now. How dare they? Sisters should be able to juke that no problem. And the Hawk Riders can now drop some fat arrows of Kurnus. You know what we'll do is we'll send in the big bird here, get him to blob up, and then we can, from there, hopefully he won't get trapped. I know there's been some changes to the new mechanics of like, you know, how pathing works for monstrous units versus like infantry. But hopefully we can just use this to make those guys a little bit saucier. And then from here, we can go ahead and drop a fat arrow of Kurnus right on that blob of units. Now these archers can, hopefully whatever's left here, they can just take that out. No, Spellsinger, you don't want to be fighting all those orc boys. That is for sure. We could cycle charge in, but I think just pulling back at this point is fine. The Eagle's actually taking a lot of damage. We need to get that bad boy out of there, no problem. All right, Spellsinger's hustling. Great Stag Knights are on their way over. And now we can start hammering into the troops that are advancing here in the front. Pull up some spears, pull back the missiles a little bit, and we can keep going after the Lord. It looks like we were able to get some value there. And we can just fly over and get ready to take out these goblins when the time does come. Looks like the war boss there is getting crumped pretty good. The Great Stag Knight's able to jump in. And now we can go ahead and turn you three and start shooting here. You guys can run over here, and that should be more than fine. All right, Stag Knights are holding the position. We do have the Weisson's Wild Form, which I could overcast, but she's a little bit damaged, so I don't want to get too crazy with that. And now we can go ahead and jump here with both characters and start gooning out these goblin archers. In the meantime, we just keep sniping the Lord. And a little bit of sloppy micro here. Let me get caught, but that's all right. So let's pull back, and pull these spears in as well. And we should be A-okay here. So it looks like my Spellsinger actually got kind of beat up. We should probably pull back the Stag Knights at this point. They're taking way too much damage. We're going to pull them back. Should be able to minimize our losses there, no problem. So we're shooting here. These guys can shoot here. Stag Knights can pull back, and our caster should rally in just a second. So that little goblin's still holding on for dear life, man. So let's go ahead and have the Hawk Riders keep chasing here, and this Eagle can jump over there to deal with that threat. These Stag Knights can pull back. These archers can pull back as well. And all looks good in the realm. So now we can start shooting into the blobs, and you guys can just keep running because you got the speed, you got the wheels. And you can see we did take some damage there, which is a little bit annoying. All right, go chase out down those archers. Use an arrow, a volley of Kurnus right there if you can. And it looks like the war boss should be going into the trash can relatively soon. Yeah, I think a couple of the Stag Knights got like stuck in the models, which is a little bit unfortunate. All right, archers, unleash hell. Stag Knights, just hang out and get ready to mass leadership break things in the end. Bring you guys back, bring the Eagle back. And the little goblin, yeah, this is for self and allies. Okay, we could like use it on these guys. I think, does it give them speed? Yeah, it does give them some speed, so we'll use that so they can get back over here and get ready to go. All right, archers, pull back. Pull back. Send in the Eternal Guard. Let them hold the lines. And these Eternal Guard here can all just start focusing down into the blobs of units. And yeah, these Stag Knights can keep lurking. It looks like we're about to finish off the Lord. And now our Spellsinger Abyss has come back, so we can go ahead and use this on the Eternal Guard to make them hold a little bit longer. Orc Infantry will perform pretty well in those circumstances there. So, Hawk Riders, let's go ahead and have you come back here and finish off these Orc boys that are trying to cause some problems. Stag Knights can go ahead and just ride into... is there any archers back there? It looks like there are some Goblin Archers. And now we can go ahead and go into Spray Fire mode now that they're like super blobbed up. And hopefully the Stag Knights can just kill that little Goblin real quick. And we can bring you guys in to help out against those Orc boys and start shooting down the pipe here. Weisson's Wild Form should be up soon, taking a little bit of damage, but the Greenskin Lord should get crumped here pretty good by the Stag Knights. Yeah, we didn't quite get him. It's all right. So we'll bring the Stag Knights back and have him just work as like a backline sweeper. And now you can see the Spray Fire mode is actually doing some pretty solid damage. So this is a good opportunity for the Stag Knights to clean up those Orc boys that are pushing in. Very good. Just keep that AoE damage going, sisters. Keep shooting. Stag Knights should be able to polish off that position. Eternal Guard should be able to beat some Orc boys in the back. And yeah, I guess we probably should have recruited a couple more units. This became a relatively tough fight here, but I think that's what makes this campaign fun, right? All right, Orc boys do have the WAP. We haven't been able to quite break these guys yet. They're holding on for dear life here. So let's go ahead and pull back so we don't get caught in some ugly engagement and go work as a backfield sweeper. These guys can pull back. These archers are all in good position, more or less. I think those are goblins, so they're going to be a little bit of a pain to break. And is little war boss coming? It looks like he's still gone. Stag Knights should be able to clean those guys up. Now it looks like the spears got that covered, so let's pull you guys back. And these Hawk Riders were able to successfully chase off some units, so now they can come fight the goblins here. You can run, and you guys can run as well. Maybe we can bring the sisters in melee too to try and finish them off. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, charge there. Get the Hawk Riders charging in as well, and now we can go sweep over here and hopefully finish off the little goblin archers. How are we doing here? Yeah, shoot these orc boys, that's fine. We can go in here and we can use the Weisson's Wild Farm on the sisters. Looks like we broke those orc boys, so now we can reposition our archers and start hammering them pretty good. And the Great Eagle should be able to finish them off in the distance. How are our archers doing? So far, so good. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's right. They shoot while they're in melee there. Oh, that's really cool. Able to get the good old 2-for-1. Stag Knights can go clean them up. Hawk Riders can charge in. These are just goblins, so just hammering them real quick will probably be a pretty easy win there. And we can send our Eternal Guard, which are shielded actually, in to go finish those guys off. Should be army losses pretty soon for the Greenskins. We took a little bit of unnecessary damage on the Stag Knights, but you know, it's all good. So there is a glorious victory. So we'll see you guys in the screen to see who carried the day. Certainly not bad. We got a decisive victory there. Yeah, pretty good value, 10,000 damage here. And the Stag Knights, of course. Man, but the Hawk Riders seem to really be MVPs. Look at that, 11,000 damage on them. Stag Knights doing well. I think I'm going to have to invest in more Hawk Riders for this campaign, especially since the faction traits for the Heralds of Ariel give them some pretty big goodies in terms of their charge bonus and weapon strength and all that sort of good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and occupy. I like to occupy the ones that are in our immediate forest, but if we're trying to clear out threats nearby, you just like raise them down. But in this case, we're going to be occupying. The occupation gives you 1 per turn, obviously, but if you do raise it, it gives you like a bigger boost. But I think for this, since it's like close to us, it's our periphery, it's our defense, occupying it is going to be a better choice. So let's go ahead and repair this. And we already have one of those. This gives us growth, construction costs for all buildings. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good one because we already have this. Getting the construction costs in our adjacent provinces as well, I think. Let's go ahead and double check that. Yeah, so it'll give it to our forest here, which is good.
When do we fight?
Sisters have leveled up. They do have Pravenoth Ramo, which is really good. I think, though, I want to get Lightning Strike. I think on Legendary difficulty, Lightning Strike is going to be super good. So let's go for Ambush, because we will be laying ambushes over the course of this campaign. And for you, we can get Flock of Doom. Obviously, having an Archer build and having to deal with like a ton of annoying Greenskins is... who are shielded, mind you. Goblins and Orcs can be tough in the early game, but I think once we face some foes who aren't shielded, it'll be super easy. So let's get you guys. And the Forge, you see, here's the option. We can permanently upgrade our Pendant to just be better, or we can do a temporary 5-turn upgrade, but I think going for the long term is way better. I mean, this one's nice and all. You can see it gives you huge replenishment, but I think going for the long-term upgrade is going to be the choice here. So we'll do that. And I think we're all good. Yeah, so we'll just heal up here for a turn, and then we should be ready to head on over, and we have to take out the Tyrant Peak, which is going to be the last one, and then we can set our sights on the ancient city of Quintex, which at that point, you can see our forest is healing. We have Battles and Raising and Pacified Heathlands, but we still are taking -2 from the Tyrant Peak here, and I think it should update from the turn. So let's go ahead and pass, and we'll see what happens here. Witchwood, a little bit of a public order issue, but Wood Elves I found are pretty decent at dealing with the public order. Like all of their like little buildings here give a ton of public order on their outposts. And I really like that I don't have to worry about provinces. Provinces can be very annoying, like if they're occupied by allies and things like that. And there you go. Allies of convenience. So it wants us to be friends with these Dark Elves down here, which I'm fine with, as long as they don't own any of my forest areas. I'm cool with it. But they're going to deny it anyway, so who cares? Chittering in the deeps, a verminous horde of Skaven has started emerging from the ground at the edge of the forest. So you can see right here. So this is kind of like a rebellion. If you don't deal with it quickly, it becomes like a full 20 stack. But if you fight it now, it can go down very quickly. And they usually just path right to your capital and try and raise your big tree. So this gives us armor piercing damage for Great Eagles. This is actually pretty cool, but it's expensive. So I'm going to go for Anathrema, the Savage Huntress, because I have a Beastcaster, I have Hawk Riders, I have Great Eagle, who are going to benefit, and I also have a ton of missile units. So that is the prudent decision, in my opinion. And now we got to destroy these guys. So let's go ahead and path over, see what's cracking here. Ah, yes, the dreaded Skaven. It's an ambush battle. Oh, that's cool. It even gives us a settlement garrison from our most recent one. We could auto-resolve this, but, you know, the problem with autoing this is I might lose, like, something important. I don't know how much better the auto-resolve system is, so we'll go ahead and fight this, and we'll see you guys on the battlefield in just a moment. Yeah, so you guys can see here, it's actually an ambush battle, which is going to make this one super one-sided, man. So all of our archers are just going to be sitting up on that rock face right there, just pounding into the unarmored flesh of those filthy molder abominations. And yeah, should be good. All right, so we have a nice little choke point right here. I think, honestly, just chilling right here and using this is okay. And we have so many archers. Holy shit. So many archers. Get you guys going, you guys going. We also have the garrison. So anything that gets through, we'll just like pound them here. And you guys can sit over here and use the arrows of Karnas from a better position. And the Great Eagle can be right there. So let's get our archers in 1 and 2. We'll get you in 3. Our caster can be here getting ready to use Flock of Doom. And that should be fine, as long as we don't quite have range from here. So we got to scoot up a little bit, which getting closer to the Skaven is not my idea of a good time, but, you know, it should be all right. And what do we want to shoot here? Honestly, probably sniping the Mutant Rat Ogre with our single shot is going to be the best bet. So let's do it. Let's have some fun. You don't need a ton of winds of magic, so that's all right. Shoot you, and get you focusing there. And the caster can come up and get ready. They're ready as well. We'll pull these guys around, and we can also send our Great Eagle above. So the Wolf Rats will come pretty quick. We might want to use the Great Stag Knights, so we'll put them in group 4 and have them just intercept them real quickly, just so they don't even get into our cookie jar. And now we can use the Volleys of Karnas to go after the Warp Fire Throwers there. And it seems like the Lord is definitely taking a little bit of damage. Great Stag Knights did get in there. We'll move up the spears to prepare to fight here. And we mainly just fly the Great Eagle over to get some you know, interference there. So like try and distract the Skaven force. All right, looks good. Those ogres are getting melted, so let's go ahead and switch onto the Mutant Rat Ogre, see if we could just pop that guy in the face real quick. This Great Eagle can pull back. And it seems like we're getting that Mutant Rat Ogre down pretty quick, yeah. Wood Elves definitely have some very useful tools against Clan Molder. So let's go ahead and flop Doom right there. We don't really need to be honest, but... All right, Hawk Riders, we do not want you to get roasted by Warp Fire Throwers. Let's pull you back. All right, looks like they're all broken up, so the Stag Knights we can pull back. We don't want to take too many casualties on them. And we can shoot you guys. Oh, these are actually Plague Monks. Okay, that's something to consider. Great Eagles around the back, so we can get these guys just chasing down the threats here to make sure they don't come back. And how are the Sisters doing? They're doing pretty good. We can start sniping the Skaven Lord now. And you can see we could just move in here with all these units. It should be fine. Dryads, and Great Eagle. Looks fine to me. All right, so the Skaven positions have buckled pretty badly. We have our Hawk Riders back. Our Great Stag Knights are just kind of chilling and having a good time. Now we can start shooting into all these units here, and we can actually pull back the Eternal Guard. They're not really needed in that frontline fight. And we can buff these guys and charge them in. Get a little charge bonus there, which certainly doesn't hurt. Very good. So all the foul beasts are being chased down, so now it's time to move up our missiles ever so slightly. And from here, we should be able to really punish them. Yeah, Great Eagle. Let's pull it back. No reason to lose that Great Eagle. And the Stag Knights can come over, but I don't want to be chasing these annoying skirmishers. Yeah, so we'll just use, you know, all these bows to bring them down here. Go into spray fire mode, and now we can start shooting at the Warp Fire Throwers in the back there. Looks like here we have some Warp Grinders, which is pretty funny. They might actually lose that fight. We might want to pull that back. We can pull over the Sisters to see if they can help out. Yeah, because there's some Wolf Rats that came back from Rally there. And let's get the Warp Fire Throwers. You guys can move up as well and just keep shooting and advancing. And the Great Stag Knights, we can just pull them up and have them get ready to, you know, run some interference here. Should be army losses pretty soon. You can see the whole Skaven army's buckling. And in the encounter fights, you do not need to kill them to the last. I'm pretty sure if you just end the battle, it just gives you the victory. And the army disappears what's left of it. So we'll find out, though. I might be wrong. So, yeah, see you guys soon. All right, no real big performers to share with you guys there. We can take gold, which gives us also physical resist for a period of 3 turns. This will give us 7% casualty replen, which isn't that good. So, oh, this actually gives you missile strength for a period of turns too. That's pretty cool. We'll just take the gold though, I think. I don't know if we have other immediate threats nearby. I'm pretty sure this army will just disappear. I can't remember. Yeah, because it like runs away after being defeated, and then it should disappear. Although maybe, oh, it looks like it didn't. So maybe I do need to chase those armies down. I could have sworn that might have been something they changed in one of the builds here. Well, that's annoying, but nonetheless, we'll be able to get them, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Otherwise, I would have actually spent time chasing down the entire army. So we'll keep going towards the Lightning Strike, and here we can get the Wild Heart, just to get the proc. And I'm pretty sure the garrisons could now defeat the Skaven force. It's pretty tattered here. I don't think I can quite reach them, so I don't know if it's worth going over there. Although now we have a couple turns until our... Yeah, and you can see we still get the benefit for defeating that army, but these rats will come back, so we could probably go into ambush stance and try and catch them here. So let's go ahead and go right here. Going into that forest will give us a 60% versus 60% here. So we'll go ahead and do this. That'll be fine. And we can go ahead and do the ambush stance. Come on, a little bit further, ladies. Yeah, because the Skaven will probably underway to the city, maybe. But we'll go ahead and just do an ambush and see what unfolds. All right. So we got 8 turns until we get more juicy gifts from your boy Daith, which I think is quite cool. The Ice Spire here, Public Order stable, because the building there just gives a ton of Public Order. And we do catch the Skaven army. The ambush failed, but honestly, Oh my god, if I lose the Stag Knights in this auto-resolve, I'm going to be so upset. I will be so disappointed. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this, but I'll just skip the battle since it's going to be super one-sided, so we'll see you guys after it's all said and done. Alright, those filthy rats got wrecked pretty good. Well, 12% casualty replay for that actually isn't a bad deal. Yeah, we'll take it. Might let us get active a little bit quicker here. So we'll see what the old world has in store for us. Okay, we took them out. The forge is lit. Okay, so now we can do an upgrade at our forge. So again, we have that same option, right? We have the elite bow, which only lasts for 5 turns. And this one just gives us a steady, slow upgrade. You know, I really feel like that's going to be the go-to option, like no matter what. So yeah, we'll just get that. And for you, we can go ahead and keep working towards our dreaded eagle summon. But for now, Amber Spear is not a bad one. I think Flock of Doom is just like steady value though. Alright, so next we need to go to the Tyrant's Peak and take some of those bad boys out. We do have some leadership issues here, but we're about to be... And money's kind of hard to come by for Wood Elves, so generally I think maybe saving it here is going to be a prudent play. So let's go ahead and just world route over here. We could just world route in the city, which will give us good replenishment. Yeah. And we don't really have anything we want to recruit here. I think we're all good. So, is there any non-aggression packs we can get? Because usually this faction actually confederates with Marathi. Yeah, okay. They don't want it. It is one of our early quests here. Portal in the Woods, Allies of Convenience, and destroying the Broken Chains to the old world's premier rap group. Alright, looks good. Let's pass that turn. Get ready to go down and smash the orcs once and for all. I could recruit a couple more units, but honestly, I think min-maxing and just not doing that is going to be probably a better choice. And that looks fine. What turn are we on anyways? Oh, turn 7. We're making some speed here. Not super quick. Alright, so we have a couple. Oh, that's right. We have these cool choices. So this gives base missile damage. This gives melee attack. Oh, we're going for the missile damage all day, dude. Oh man, we're just gonna sit her and a bunch of Way Watchers in the late game and just cackle as our foes crumble. We could recruit here. Honestly though, I don't think we need to. I'm just gonna save it for the big upgrades, and let's go ahead and world route down here. Hopefully there's no more incursions. They do happen at very inconvenient times. Sometimes, for example, they'll happen like while you're out here doing this, and then the invasion comes, you have to like recruit in a panic, you have to defend with your garrison. It can be actually kind of scary from some of the testing I've done with it. But that was on Mortal Empires. I haven't seen it be that aggressive on the Vortex, but again, it's just my anecdotal experience. All right, so the ancient city is here. We can just underway right in front of it, honestly. I think, can we underway right in front of it? I think we can reach like right here. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, there's a couple orc armies, just a bunch of shitty goblins. If they attack me, it's fine. We'll be able to win if we're just careful with our micro. And that looks okay. So fast couple turns, we could try another non-aggression pact over here. It looks like Clark Rond is under attack, so come on, give it to me. I want that quest completion. They're not going to give it. Allies of Convenience, huh? So they say. So now we pass. See, this is why I like Lightning Strike's useful, though, because like you can just karate chop these armies outside garrisons, and it's just, especially on the higher difficulties. Oh, are they actually coming out to fight? Wow, look at that. Do I want to fight all this at once? Maybe we should be a little bit more careful, although, honestly, I don't know if we're going to get a better fight. Because here in this case, I mean, that's a shit ton of goblins, dude, which on Legendary with the multiplicative effects of their buffs could be kind of scary. It also depends on where the deployment goes. So this is just your boy with a massive goblin stack. You know what, we'll do it. I think this will be a fun fight. And, you know, in my experience, taking these fun fights is what makes the campaigns interesting to watch. If you just always play it safe, it's not as fun, in my opinion. Alright, so let's fight the battle, and we'll see you guys in just a second. And here we are with the battle. Thankfully for me, it's a very narrow deployment. So you can see here we do have a very, very juicy choke position. So, where do we want to fight this? Probably trying to get the greenskin hordes to like blob around this tree here would be our best bet. So let's get 1, let's get 2 for our archer battalions. And the Eternal Guard will actually be very useful here. Hawk Riders can be in 4. And the bird is the word, for sure. Flock of Doom's going to be crazy good here, too. And you guys can be in 6. And I guess we'll just put you in 7 for now. Doesn't matter too much. All right, so, yeah, we can choke them right here. So we position our archers behind this tree here, because here, there's a forest for them to shroud. So in that case, we don't want to give them that position. But here is, like, a pretty sexy position. So we'll get 1 unit of archers up here. Can they quite fit here? And then the other ones can be, like, back here. It's a very, very ugly position, though. Man, oh man. All right, so let's get you guys like this and you guys like this, more or less. Yeah, it's hard to get that juicy spot. So let's firstly get our spears up there, and we can go start harassing right now and just running some interference while the Dread Legions gather. We can hide you guys in the trees, see what we can get going there. And the Great Eagle's a little bit beat up, but thankfully we have all of our Stag Knights back. So, all right, so if you guys are here and you guys are here, we can get one unit of archers like so. Yeah, probably more like this, and then the other ones should be able to be like this. And we can use the Stag Knights to block things up, because it leaves this area open here. So we could use the Stag Knights, like I said, to run some interference. So let's go ahead and start sniping the leadership, I think is going to be better at this point. Oh, we have the Eagle Bow, look at that. Very cool. Got some new abilities I didn't notice. We're going to save the Arrows of Kurnus for when they're blobbed, but for now we can start shooting the Wolf Riders. Yeah, it's not the prettiest situation. We should probably fine-tune that and get the Stag Knights down here. Like, just over here they don't really serve a purpose, to be honest. Alright, let's pull you guys back. Don't want to be taking any free missile fire. I mean, I could try and creep with the Stag Knights. Actually, you know what? Laying an ambush and killing those Wolf Riders quickly would actually be really, really useful. Alright, the Greenskin Lord's getting beat up. No problem. Let's see if we can get them to come fight here. Come on. I'm pretty sure this should go pretty quick. We should be able to goon them out pretty fast. And yeah, you can see we're running some decent interference here. The Great Eagle could come over as well and see if they can lend any aid. Let's get our Hawk Riders to jump in. I could use an Arrow of Kurnus, but I don't think we need to. We're not taking too much damage there. So just killing the Wolf Riders, and yeah, this is a lot of stuff, but I think with Flock of Dooms we should be okay. We just need to break these guys a little bit quicker. Yeah, look at that. It looks like she's maintaining the target I gave, which is cool. Let's pull you guys back now. We don't want to be taking any unnecessary casualties. So we got rid of the mobility, more or less. It'll be back, for sure. And the Stag Knights now need to fall back to their position where everything that comes through here, they need to try and polish off. We'll also put the Spellslinger over there so she can abuse her single entity status to blob up a ton of goblins. And yeah, it looks like the War Boss is getting taken out. AoE fire mode will be quite useful. Yep, look at that. Man, they're so useful. Damn. Alright, so these are all goblins. I mean, shooting goblins is so cost inefficient, but we don't really have much of a choice, to be honest. We could shoot their archers back. That, of course, is a decent usage. And let's see if we can get a little bit more surface area covered here. And looks all right. I mean, we're shooting away. Let's see if we can snipe the Lord real quick. Just like take him out before things get too crazy. We could have corner camped too, obviously. We could have gone like way back here, but I think this is going to be fine. It's going to be a little bit dicey, but should be okay. With the leadership going down, you know, the goblins hopefully won't last terribly long. All right, so those lads are definitely taking a hammering. We got some goblin archers back here that we could start trying to polish off. We do want to charge because we, of course, do not have the charge defense. And the Great Stag Knights can just basically cycle charge on the flank here. Let's go ahead and blob up and use the Weisson's Wild Form here in a second. And that should hit more or less everything. Now we can go into spray fire mode and hopefully start getting some decent damage in those positions. All right, looks good. Looks good to me. Let's get the Great Eagle in there as well. Those are Orc Boys, so we definitely want to be shooting the Orc Boys if we can. And that's some AoE damage. You can see this entire force is definitely getting punished pretty good. I forgot to give the charge bonus to these guys here. Yeah, and this we can give to them. I'm pretty sure that's a missile buff there. All right, so these archers probably need to fall back right now because the Eternal Guard up on the high ground are buckling pretty hard. But the blob fight is going okay. The Great Stag Knights are definitely running some solid interference. And we do have the volleys of Kurnus as well. So let's go here, do a quick collapse on these goblins, see if we can just put them in the trash can real quick. And the Spellslinger is holding. The archers are still shooting, but we should probably start falling back with them because our front lines are getting a little bit tattered now. So let's go ahead and do a Flock of Doom right here. And we were able to sweep that position. We need to keep our caster alive because if the caster dies, we just kind of lose. Is that a character right there? Oh, it looks like it's the other character. Yeah, it's a little goblin here. All right, so let's run over there, see if we can, you know, stop him up for a second while our archers reposition. Looks good. We got some Eternal Guard still holding. She's still doing some spray damage, so we need to make sure she's shooting into the blob and doing some spray fire. And that's good. All we need to do is buy like a second for our caster to get away, and then we can actually get both units of archers and just like one-shot this guy, hopefully. Yeah, looks good. We do have the Weisson's Wild Farm as well. Our Great Eagle should probably pull back, and the splash damage is getting in there, and that Lord should get crumped here. And we can honestly hammer into the goblins. I'm not sure if I need to. I don't mind taking a little bit of damage on this Lord. I think that's okay. And yeah, it looks like the little goblin has paid the troll toll. So now we can start shooting at advancing units. Shoot at advancing units here. We can hammer in. And the Hawk Riders do have another... Oh, they didn't even use their volley there. Okay, that's interesting. Well, let's see if we can use it here. Pull back. Great Eagle can go disrupt the archer lines if we want to. And yeah, honestly, I feel like we're okay. So Flock of Doom's here. That's going to be a better Flock of Doom. The Great Stag Knights, we really need them to continue like pulling back and sweeping. I feel like I'm playing like a multiplayer Wood Elf game with the way we're playing this, which is pretty funny. Do we want to send the Hawk Riders back there to start hammering the archer positions? I don't know how cost effective that'll be. So So let's pull you guys back and get the Great Eagles to now blob things up. So the Great Eagle's going to have to be used to stop up this advance while we reposition our archers. And then from there, it gives us more, space to work with. You guys get the picture. And our Spell Singer should be able to go in there. We could use that, but I think just saving all our Winds of Magic for Flock of Dooms is going to be a better play. These Hawk Riders, yeah, we probably hammer into those Orc Airboys with our Great Stag Knights. Looks good. And now we can shoot those Goblins, because they're wavering here. But honestly, I think just using this to make sure my caster doesn't get messed up. The extra armor is really, really helpful there. And Stag Knights, let's give them a little buff so they can get away a little bit quicker. And now we can start shooting into these Goblins as they advance. The Great Eagle is broken. It's just going to run off the battlefield, which is all right. And these Hawk Riders are now out of ammo, so we got to start using them as like hammers. Pull you guys back. And so much stuff is wavering. That's for sure. She's doing pretty good. Start shooting into the Gobos here. Let's pull in the Hawk Riders here, and we can get the Stag Knights to come in and hammer these little Goblins. We have another Flock of Doom here. It'll hit all 3 of those units, which is great. And you can see the extra ammo coming into effect, being very, very useful here. Let's reposition you guys. Honestly, we might need to get our Lord and start like fighting in melee combat here to like help the Spell Singer, get out of trouble. The Great Stag Knight's able to punish some of the Goblins here. This is a really fun fight, I have to say. I love when fights like happen like this in campaign. So we have the volleys. Let's use it on the Orc Airboys. They're definitely going to be a big pain in the butt. Now we can start hammering the Orc Airboys here. Not seeing the Balance of Power definitely adds another level of like intrigue. Man, our Spell Singer is near death. Okay, I think the Overcast might have done it. Stag Knights pull back. We don't want them to get punished. We can out Archer these Orcs all day. And this actually gives Stalk and Unspottable to something. All right, that's kind of cool. But yeah, she needs to go fly over them, because in flying over these guys, yeah, we need to be ready to chase them down too. Because this is a battle that they attacked us. So we need to be able to inflict as many casualties as possible for the follow-up fights. Because, Goblins can be replenished pretty quickly. So, what do they have here? A bunch of Orc boys that are like wavering and stuff. And look at the Hawk Riders. Should break their backs here. Give them the good old Bane back break. You guys come in here, and we do have our caster back, but let's just kind of keep her in the periphery. We were a little bit messy with her. All right. Chase and chase. So corner camping would have been a little bit more effective, for sure. But again, the thing about corner camping is if our Eternal Guard broke quickly, which they did, we would not have had much room to fall back. So I actually think that was the prudent choice. Anyways, guys, I'm going to clean these guys up, and we'll see you on the campaign map in just a second. I have to admit that one was a little bit stressful, but now we can take the Abduct Captives, which will give us some fat healing. You can take a look at our Eternal Guards and our Stag Knights. That'll give us some good stuff. So let's do that. And then here in this next turn, we should be able to clear them out. And yeah, we'll be all good. So the fight is on. We should get our Forge now after winning those battles. Yes, we do. And let's get the Refined Dreaming Boots, which will give us extra campaign movement range. And looks good to me. Excellent. The Forge is lit. Ooh. It's now active. I think it was just telling me that. Oh, we got some armor too. So let's go ahead and gear out our characters, make sure we're all set. So we got the Dreaming Boots. We have the Twilight Horn, which hasn't been upgraded. You can see all of our items are permanently upgraded now. I believe this character could use some armor though. Yeah, it's on that. I could have sworn we got another item. I guess it was just the one we just upgraded, huh? So there's no gear for this character yet. No problem. Level ups. Let's go ahead and get Flock of Doom fully maxed out. You can see how damn useful that's been. And now we have the Tyrant Peak with a very beleaguered army and garrison, I would imagine. So we're going to have to probably actually fight this. And I think that will wrap up our first episode. I think that was a pretty good capstone there. On top of that, we can keep leveling this up because we saved our money pretty well. Doing this will give us a Glade Captain, which I think is neat. But I think more importantly, we need to get Missile Tech. Way Watchers start working down there. And but the Hawk Rider tree, I remember the Hawk Riders being very pertinent here in this campaign with the volleys of Karnus we get. So we'll plan that at some point. So let's go missile play here. Do I need having a Glade Captain is useful. It increases mobility. It's not that expensive either, so let's go ahead and do it. And then from here, this gives us plus 600 per turn. That's a really sexy. Yeah, that's right. We have the landmark building. I forgot about that. Yeah, we might as well get this. Enables Awakened Forest Attrition, Missile Strength for all armies. Yeah, okay, we got to get that. So that will give us the Sacred Grounds of Anathrema. That is very good. Wow, look at that. Lord Recruit rank, Missile Strength for all missile units, all armies. And also gives you Hawk Riders, which are very OP in this campaign. So I think that's good. So let's move in. Let's finish him off. Put a fork in him. Oh, yes, but now we have to fight the garrison. Oh, God, more stuff. I think we'll be okay. We do have a banner, so let's give the leadership to her just so she doesn't flee off the battlefield. And we'll see you guys in the battle in just a second.
It will be a glorious battle.
And here we are. We cannot let this fungus fester. And you can see the strength of using all missile armies is you just get... like, we took, like, no damage on our missiles there. A little bit of damage, of course, on our characters and whatnot, but... Alright, so let's just take an angle to make it a little bit easier to defend our flanks. We'll get these spears back here. We'll get the Stag Knights in 4. And the Stag Knights, I forgot to show you guys, but on that previous battle, man, they did so much work. We should have probably gambled the Winds of Magic, but it's alright. So let's go here. Let's get you harassing. Let's get you harassing. Stag Knights are just going to be sweepers in the back. Basically just there to kill the Wolf Riders. And our Lord can now go snipe these little characters. So we have the Lord, and it looks like a big boss there. I feel like that's going to be pretty strong in multiplayer. Need to bring her over there so she doesn't... Yeah, what are these Wolf Riders here? Alright, Stag Knights, you come up there. And now the Lord is going to start getting karate chopped. We can use the Arrows of Kurnus, or... Oh, they actually have Orc Biggins. Okay, that's going to be a pretty good target for those. Check it out. Oh, it's so good. Look at the damage it's going to do, too. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Splash damage also. So we'll keep shooting the Biggins. They're obviously going to be a pain, but the good thing about Biggins is that they die rather quickly to missile fire, because they do have some armor. They have like 50 or 60 armor, but it's not going to be enough to really save them. All right, so the big thing is cutting off the Wolf Riders, so our archers can, you know, pretty much free fire here. Looks like we've gotten some work. We'll give some speed to you guys. And now the Stag Knights can go over here and hopefully cut them off. Although the archers might just finish them on the approach. A little bit hard to tell. Yeah, Wolf Riders might break. It's hard to say. What do we have? Some Orc Boys here, some more Orc Boys. So we could just start shooting them, and then Hawk Riders can come in the back, prepare to pincer in. And these Wolf Riders, oh come on, you guys gotta be going down here. Hawk Riders can pull in, run some interference. Stag Knights have of course cleaned up those ones, which should be shattering here in a moment. And we can pull in our Lord to clean them up, which should be okay. Very good. We're doing all right. Looks like in the back they got some Orc Air Boys. We'll go ahead and attack with our Hawk Riders. And it looks like our Lord was able to clean that position up. And now we can start shooting at the Biggins as they approach and get you back up in the sky here. Stag Riders can run in and just run interference for a quick second. We can pull these guys back and just keep polishing them off if we can. All right, let's go, Stag Knights. Run those Orc Air Boys down. We've distracted some of the archers for now. And like I said, we can cycle charge pretty effectively with these characters. And we could pull up some spears to maybe help out. Yeah, we probably should. Stag Knights, pull back, go kill those Wolf Riders. And now let's pull the Hawk Riders back in to help out as well. Cool, so they blobbed up. We got some more Orc Biggins here. So let's keep the party going. We get the Hawk Riders. A little bit of a speed buff here. We do have Flock of Doom, so we can hit hopefully all of those units right there. A little bit tricky. We'll send in the spears. They're not like super important, so shouldn't be a problem. We'll come in and rear charge them also. All right, very good. So we're punishing the Biggins pretty hard. We can pull the Lord in to shut them down. The Great Eagle, you know, I was gonna conserve it, but we can just send that bad boy in to try and deal with that threat right there. Very good. Let's hammer in. Let's start shooting here. Spellsinger, we don't want to be dying to these random Orc Boys, so let's get the Hawk Riders pushing in. And that surround should be able to finish those guys off. Very good. So these archers are back in business. We can get them going here, a couple of them shooting here. And now we need to get our Lord back. And you know, once we do this, we get the city. It's the greenskin threat's going to be dealt with. Then we can tech up our armies, right? Get the Deepwood Scouts, get the hero characters in our armies, and really start to be the Punisher. All right, so Flock of Doom's not terribly useful, but buffing up our Hawk Riders' armor is. And these guys should be able to finish off these Air Boys right here. The Great Eagle in the back. We don't want to be losing our monstrous character, who, when we eventually do have to fight siege battles, will be one of the more useful characters in our army. So might as well just Flock of Doom some random thing here. Looks good. Should be army losses soon. Hawk Riders come in, crump this position. We have Arrows of Kurnus. We can shoot into you guys. And these archers can just start pushing up. I love how Wood Elf archers can like move and shoot while they advance. I think it's such a cool looking thematic thing. And there you have it. Took a little bit of damage, nothing to write home about though, and it looks like the Lord should be pretty much a non-factor here. Alright guys, so no need to clean up here since it was a city battle, and we'll see you guys on the campaign map. A decisive victory indeed. Let's go ahead and claim the city for the forest. Here we do have the secure the border, so let's go ahead and do that. And Tyrant Peak is now ours, so we have a couple options as to what we want to do here. It looks like we have crumped that faction. They do have a little haggard goblin stack, but the goblin stack couldn't even deal with any of our garrisons, so. Alright, so we're very close to Lightning Strike. Growth, no, this one, we have that. And now the reason why, I forgot to mention this, guys. The reason why you go Obscuring Canopies is because it gives you missile strength during ambushes, which is actually really useful. Untainted here, income from raising settlements, or growth in local province. Probably honestly just going for this is going to be the play. Looks good. And for you, we can keep working towards those high-level spells. And that should be quite good. Now for the Tyrant's Peak, we can go ahead and repair this. And what do we want to get? Recruitment cost, growth for adjacent provinces. Probably the macro management version would be good. This gives us Dryads, but we don't care about Dryads at all. Construction cost. I mean, you can add that up, and this is an adjacent province. Yeah, You know what? I think that's going to be fine. Because, like you see, I mean, now we have minus 10% upkeep or building cost at the Witchwood here, which I think will be quite useful. And honestly, we might as well start building that up. Although, we won't be able to recruit. It's a 10-turn thing. So I think we just hang tight for now. So we have a settlement upgrade. I think we hang out. And I think from here, guys, we can call that the end of the first episode. So, of course, I'll be back with more episodes. All of this campaign is going to be recorded. And, of course, the Mortal Empires for Throth the Unclean will be a live stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. And we'll be back with the next episode relatively soon. Take care, guys. Vengeance for the Forest is upon us.